This has got to be the scariest news we have seen in years. And I'm talking about going back to 2020 and the chaos that the world experienced at that time. Right now, farmers across the United States and really around the world are already warning that we are destined for a food crisis. It's going to happen here in the United States as well as other countries as well. But what we are hearing is that without fertilizer, which is the big issue right now, I talked to a friend of mine, I'll explain what he's doing, but without fertilizer, we can't feed 8.3 billion people. No, we can really only feed between 1 to 2 billion people. That means we can potentially, at most, feed a quarter of the world's population. How scary is that? Look at some of the things we're seeing right now here in the U.S. It says, Iran war causing fertilizer prices to spike. South Carolina farmers warn of impact on food costs. And then it says Kentucky farmers brace for higher fertilizer and diesel costs amid Iran conflict. We are not out of this. According to multiple sources, they are saying even if this war were to end today, even if the Strait of Hormuz opened up completely today, there has still been so many issues. This conflict has gone on for far too long. But I believe we're in week 6. Yeah, or week 7. This is an issue. I want to play a clip for you though. Listen to this right here, because this is just showing us how dire the situation is. Look at this.
Fertilizer. If we don't have the fertilizer, we can't grow the potatoes. And it's not just potatoes, it's a whole range of crops. We eat food, okay? We eat this green stuff. It actually starts as brown stuff because the fertilizer is an essential part of growing all the food we eat. And the fertilizer is produced by a process called the Haber-Bosch process, which takes petroleum and nitrogen and fixes them in such a way that you can put this on the field and your plants will grow courtesy of the fertilizer. If we didn't have fertilizer at all, guess how many billion people the planet could actually support?
I don't know.
Between 1 and 2.
And fertilizer comes from this region?
Again,
Okay, we're going to watch the rest of this in just a moment. But a lot of people were asking me this several weeks ago when I said there is a fertilizer crisis here in the United States. That people or farmers were trying to get fertilizer in order to grow their crops. And somebody asked, well, why do we need fertilizer? Why can't we just grow everything organically? Well, here's the issue. Let's look at grass, for instance, because most people would be able to understand this as opposed to really diving into the crops, because again, I'm not a farmer. But based off of the metaphor that my friend was giving me is, let's say you planted grass, or you got your grass for this year, and it looks good, it's green, and it's decently growing. But if you put fertilizer on it, it grows from maybe 1 to 2 inches to maybe it grows 3 or 4 inches over the course of a week. It really grows. It's because of the nitrogen. That's the key here. The nitrogen is really helping it grow and grow at a faster rate. Well, what if we did this for things like, just different vegetables, right? What if we needed fertilizer in order to have more growth so we have more crops? The same metaphor going back to grass. For like cows, think about this. If a cow eats the top 2 inches of the grass and now we only have 2 inches left, well, that might take them just another couple days. But what if we put fertilizer and now it goes back to 3 to 4 inches again? And it happens every single week. That's the key here. That's why we need fertilizer, so we can grow our crops faster. We're not producing more over a larger area. We're actually doing the same in the same area, but the crops are growing faster, which we can have more production, meaning we can feed more people. That's the key here. Listen to the rest of this.
Nearly 30% of our fertilizer comes through that region.
Through the Strait of Hormuz. Where's it coming from?
It's coming again from the same gas field that's producing the helium, produces a side effect of fertilizer. And you need, I'm not a chemist, okay, so I can get these things wrong. But you need sulfuric acid as well as part of these production processes. 20% of the world's fertilizer, helium, sulfuric acid all pass through that strait. And if you take them away, then you can't make microchips, which is what Korea is suffering from. You can't make fertilizer, which everybody will suffer from. If we lost 20% of the world's fertilizer, we'd lose roughly 20% of the world's food. And it caused a global famine. We've never had this experience before. We've had
a global famine. Again, this is something we've never experienced before. Because during 2020 in that global crisis then, we still had some food being produced. Okay? Again, there were supply chain shocks, but remember what inflation did? Shot up. Remember what happened at grocery stores? They were bare. That's what we could see again. Now, this is why I want to show you a few things. Okay? First off, this one. This is what I've been recommending to people for some time. Go and get yourself an indoor garden, a hydroponic growing system. That's what you need so you can grow your own vegetables. You can do it yourself. It doesn't matter if it's sunny outside, if it's rainy, if it's snowy. You can be growing your own vegetables indoors. I highly recommend you go get something like that. I'll put a link to this growing system down in the description box below. So make sure you go and check it out. Okay? If not, no big deal. But if you have your own growing system, if you have an indoor garden, you do not have to rely on all the farmers that are struggling to produce things like tomatoes, cucumbers, kale, whatever you want, right? You can grow it in your own home. Now, I want to read you something that a friend sent me. I sent him a message, kind of asked him like, what's he going through, kind of how's his farm, how's it pretty much doing at this time, and almost if he sees any issues. This is what he wrote back to me, and he says, and I quote, "Good to hear from you. To make a long story somewhat short, I have had my fertilizer orders canceled 8 times in the past month. I have been lucky enough to get some fertilizer from a family member's friend, but he has his own crops to grow. Right now, we are at a fork in the road. Do we continue operations and hope things get better, or do we put the farm on the market? The problem that we all face is that due to this war, rising food prices will be locked in for some time. Hopefully this helps." Now, here's what I can tell you. People all over are concerned about food prices, okay? But these are average people like you and I, not farmers. We're not ranchers, right? We don't grow our own, mass supply of food. We just don't. We go to the grocery store and we buy it just like everyone else. Well, everyone like you and I are going to feel the impacts because the farmers are now at a crossroads. Okay? I have a friend who's considering buying a farm, not for the farm itself, for the land. He wants the land so that he can he's a commercial developer, so he can go and put up a whole commercial space. Okay? That's what he wants it for. So he's just one of the many people, many developers that's looking at the raw land and removing the farm, removing what it does to the economy and to the normal everyday person. And he wants to put a commercial space in there. Okay? Because that's going to make more money. And it will. But by him doing that and pulling a farm off the market, that's going to hurt everyone else in the community. Here's what I can tell you, though. This is a crisis. We are hearing statements like global famine, the worst food crisis ever that the world has ever seen. Not enough fertilizer to feed 8 billion people. Only enough to feed possibly a quarter of the world's population. That's concerning. That is extremely concerning. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. That's what we know as of today. And for me, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not the greatest gardener. I'm not the greatest farmer. But I can bet you this. I will learn and I will be better. Especially after what we're seeing right now. And you should do the same.